You wake up at 8 a.m., you review your past trades, you visualize your setups, you tell yourself, today I'm going to be disciplined. But by 10 a.m., you are in a trade you never planned to take. Your heart is racing, you are praying to a market that absolutely does not care about you. Why does this happen? Why is it that the harder you try, the more hours you put in, and the more you obsess over the charts, the faster your account bleeds? And the truth is, the market is simple. It is the trader who makes it complicated. Welcome to Market Sector. Today we are breaking down why your own brain is actively trying to bankrupt you and the exact psychological shifts you need to make to finally survive. Let's dive in. Act 1. The illusion of complexity. When we start trading, we all carry the exact same belief. The market is incredibly complex, which means I need an incredibly complex strategy to beat it. So you build a morning routine that lasts 2 hours. You stack indicators on top of indicators. You create setups that require 14 different conditions before you dare to click buy. But what is the actual result? You still overtrade. You still FOMO. You still revenge trade. Why? Because you have confused complexity with safety. The hard truth is that complexity doesn't make you safer. It just makes you exhausted. The market only does a few very boring things. If there is a trend, you ride it. If it's choppy, you sit on your hands. If your risk is blown, you get out. A professional trader is not the CEO of the market. They don't control the ocean. They are simply a surfer. They sit on their board, they wait for the right wave, and most importantly, they know exactly when to drop off. Act 2. The caveman brain. Let's get brutally honest. You don't lose because you lack knowledge, you lose because your primitive brain is doing exactly what designed to do over millions of years. The human brain evolved to avoid danger, seek absolute certainty, and react violently to threats. Trading requires the exact opposite. It requires you to accept risk, live in total uncertainty, and act slowly. When you put your hard earned money on the line, your brain doesn't see a high probability setup. It sees a tiger hiding in the bushes. Gold drops $3 against you, and your brain slams the emergency fight or flight button. You call it weak psychology, biology calls it survival. 90% of your trades are decided by emotion. You feel the urge to enter first, and then your logical brain kicks in like a sleazy lawyer, finding indicators to justify the dumb decision you already made. That is why you can look at the exact same chart on a Monday and a Friday, but trade it completely differently. The market didn't change, your mental filter did. Act 3. The confirmation bias. Your brain doesn't care about the truth, it only cares about feeling safe. And to feel safe, it uses biases that silently sabotage your account. Confirmation bias. You decide you want to go long. The chart is screaming that a crash is coming. You completely ignore the chart and only look at the one indicator pointing up. Loss aversion. You fear losing $100 way more than you enjoy making $100. So what do? You hold onto a massive losing trade hoping it turns around. But you take a $10 profit on a winner because you are terrified the market will steal it back. The illusion of control. You think staring at the chart for 6 hours will magically force the price to hit your take profit. It won't. You are just staring at it to soothe your own anxiety. You cannot erase these biases. You are human. But the gap between feeling the emotion and clicking the mouse, that is where the 1% live. Emotion is just a wave. You don't have to fight the wave. You just have to realize you shouldn't be padding when the water is that choppy. Act 4. The 1% death spiral. If you have been in this game long enough, you know the market rarely knocks you out with one massive punch. It eliminates you quietly, through tiny choices you barely even notice. I will break the rule just this once. I'm a little tired, but I can manage one trade. I don't need to journal today. I know what happened. These choices don't bankrupt you immediately, but they erode something far more valuable than your capital, your self trust. Once you stop trusting yourself, you start entering trades late. You exit early. You panic. You don't collapse because of the market. You collapse because the relationship with yourself is broken. Trading is a game of brutal mathematics. To fully grasp why these tiny habits matter, you need to see the math of compounding discipline. A 1% change doesn't seem like much today, but let's look at what it does over a year. Act 5. Optimizing energy, not profit. Professional traders do not optimize for profit, they optimize for energy. Beginners think I must trade more to get better faster. Wrong. The legends of this game know exactly when to stop. They know when to take a week off. They know when to just watch. The market is open 24/5. Your mental clarity is not. You only have a limited number of clear, focused years in you before burnout and boredom take over. The markets will not refund those years to you. You don't discover your trading style. You forge it. You build it out of tiny, boring choices made every single day. So I want you to make a fundamental shift today. Stop asking, how do I win more money? And start asking, how do I stop destroying myself? Accept what you cannot control, master your reactions, and install one tiny 1% improvement into your routine tomorrow. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need a secret strategy. You just need to stay in the game long enough for the math to work in your favor. If this hits home for you, subscribe to Market Sixer. Let me know in the comments which primitive bias is hitting you the hardest right now. I will see you in the next video.